I'm Mike Sullivan, and today we're going to be answering an email, a question from a viewer who wants to know about how to make sure your backswing isn't too long or too short. Okay, so we just, I wish I could say I just got this email. This came in a couple weeks ago from Joe, one of our subscribers, and Joe's got a question about why is it that some people have a backswing that is too long, and why is it that some people have a backswing that's too short? So here's a question. He says that he sees a lot of folks overswing it or underswing. They take the club past parallel and tend to come over the top as a result. So he sees people making a great big golf swing, the club goes past parallel in this sort of a downswing, and that makes the ball go, for a right-handed golfer, go to the left. It's going to give you pulls and slices. And then he also says that underswingers take the club back so short they never rotate the club and don't have time to release the club. So I think what he means is he sees these people that are underswinging, taking these swings where it's really short and they never really kind of complete a backswing, and they get this sort of thing. Although that wasn't too bad, okay? So where do we want to be? What's going on? What's the problem here? So let's talk about first the overswing. And also, you know, and the point that he makes about the underswinging, he talks a little about cause and effect of the underswing, which you can just kind of see in somebody where they just look like they're uncomfortable. They don't have a rhythm to their swing. It's like really short, and then they try to because there's no backswing, they go so hard at it, right? But we'll start with the overswing. All right. Here's what it looks like. Usually, it looks like, and if you take a look at my back hip, it's usually a problem with the pivot, where the player's back hip slides backwards, their spine gets into a reverse tilt here, or we call a reverse pivot, and because their spine tilts back the wrong way, they actually don't turn very much. They pick their hands up, and you see the club past parallel, everything bending and all that, and then their entire downswing is trying to figure out how to get back to the ball from there, which we don't have to get into too much. So let's talk first about the position we want to be in as we take a backswing. And here's something that everybody can do. So I'm going to do this without a golf club. You may have seen this before. It's called I call it the lawnmower drill, where you kind of set up like in a normal golf stance, and you're going to start a lawnmower. So you take your back hand, so for a right-handed golfer, it'd be your right hand, left-handed golfer would be your left hand, right hand, and you're going to kind of feel like you're pulling up to start that lawnmower, all right? So I can even hold my hands together like this, and I get that position. So you can see as I make that move, my right shoulder gets really high, my left shoulder gets kind of low, and this is kind of the position that we want to have in our backswing with our upper body. We want to be like here, as opposed to right there. Now, we're not going to swing the club like this, but that's just to give you a feeling of where you want to be in your backswing. Okay, so remember that. When it comes to figuring out how to make a good pivot or a correct backswing turn, and we've done videos on this before, we're going to set up without a club in our hands. We're going to get into our good golf setup, which is bending from the hips, but I'm also going to nudge my hip a little bit towards the target, like this, and that helps my spine tilt a little bit this way. All right, so now I'm in what we call a nice secondary spine tilt. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and turn my shoulders and then allow my hips to turn a little bit. Notice that my back hip is turning a little bit. It's not sliding backwards. Okay, so this is the drill you want to do. You want to get in front of a mirror. You want to look at yourself in the mirror and make sure you're able to move those shoulders, boom, and the hips like that. Now, when you first start doing this, if you've been sliding those hips backwards and creating a reverse pivot, it may be difficult to do it exactly like I'm doing it. You may want to do it more this way. It's going to turn into probably this. I want this. It may turn into that. See how my shoulders are really flat? That's not the way we really want to play golf, but you may find you have to start off with making a backswing kind of that way at first because it's so uncomfortable to get the right shoulder tilt. Let me do that again. We see a lot of this, and you'll see the club gets off, it's behind me, it's not great, but we got to get a feel for a good pivot. So if you can't make this happen, you may have to flatten the shoulders out a little bit, excuse me, at first. Take a look how that looks. Turn, hands out in front of my chest. So that's a pretty good looking standard playing position. From there, it's going to be a lot easier to unwind and get that club to come from the inside of the target line, give you the swing path you want, help you get rid of pulls and slices. All right, so that's going to help us with the overswing. The underswing, here's what usually happens on this. Not every time, but usually. From this angle that you're looking at, it looks kind of like this. That's all there is. But look at it from down the target line. Move this ball. If I pull my arm across the center of my body, this is incorrect, what happens is I lose a lot of range of motion in my lead shoulder. That makes me feel constricted and I got nowhere to go. If I could get the club out here, I'd have all sorts of range of motion and be able to make a normal backswing. All right. So actually, to help you get a feel for the right hand action here, we're going to let our arms just hang straight down from our shoulders and get them kind of rocking. And if I just make enough of a shoulder turn to kind of get these arms moving, boom, you're going to see those hands right out in front of my chest, which is more where we want that club to be. And something cool you can do is you can grab like a soccer ball or a big medicine ball or something. You can grab that ball and just get it rocking and then toss it straight back to a friend. Like right where the camera is right where we're going to toss that soccer ball. As a matter of fact, let's grab a soccer ball and try that out. Okay, I'm back with my soccer ball. All right, so I'm going to set up just like the soccer ball is my golf club, and I've got my shoulders rocking here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw this back, just toss it back nice and natural. Right there. So that ball went straight back right underneath the camera. My hands would be right about here, and then I'm going to have all sorts of range of motion from here to make a more conventional backswing, and then I'm not going to have to rush and jump all over that downswing. Okay, so if you're experiencing that overswing, it's probably your pivot. You can do that pivot drill. If you're experiencing the underswing, you're probably pulling your hands back behind you, and you need to do that drill like you're going to throw a soccer ball, and try it with a club if you want to. Don't let go of the club. Like you're going to throw, say, the club right back behind you. That should help out with the underswing. I hope that helps. We'll see you next time.